Hey everyone, Sean here. I just wanted to give a quick reminder that I'm going to plug in at the beginning of every episode. Joe is currently on hiatus. Big bummer. We miss him to death. But while he's away, I wanted to just, keep putting stuff out and keep being creative and coming up with new ideas and concepts and shows and stuff. So the feed is going to have a bunch of different things, a bunch of different guests, a bunch of different interviews, all sorts of stuff while Joe is away. If you tune out, that's totally cool. I understand. But I do appreciate everyone that sticks around and hangs out with us while we're doing this new adventure. And if you are waiting for Joe, just know that if you see an episode and it says THS and a number on it, Joe will be in that episode. If it's not that, there's probably no Joe. Probably, I think. So anyway, keep that in mind, and keep an eye out for if and when Joe ever returns, and hope he's doing great, and can't wait to see what we can do while he's away, and then hopefully get that guy back in here. So anyway, guys, thank you all so much and enjoy this episode. Hello from Hollywood. Breaking down all your favorite movies, Dexter and TV shows. Hello from Hollywood.
I asked Sean to give me a puppet budget, and he said no.
Puppet budgets are out. We're living tight now that Joe's out. we're on a shoestring budget these days.
I just need a budget for 4 pairs of socks and like pipe cleaners, and I'll make something, and some buttons.
Oh, well, we can probably do that.
I'm gonna make.
By the way, let's pre-start this. That we will be getting Lexi a microphone that works better.
I'm sitting in front of 2 separate microphones, and neither of them.
She hates them.
Yeah.
She hates them. So we got to get her a new one. So apologies in advance.
Blame Sean, not me.
Blame the budget. Blame the finance guy, whoever that is.
Whoever that fucking guy is.
Whoever that fucking guy is. I'm in such like a weird space. My brain is like not working. I had a margarita and I think it was laced.
With what?
I don't know, but I came home and I was not okay.
When did you drink it?
At dinner. It was a while ago, but like I'm like all thrown off and oh my goodness, and I was so tired. But we're here to
here's the God's honest truth.
We gotta put on a show.
I'm holding on to this microphone. I need something to do with my hands. This mic doesn't work. I need to pretend I'm talking into it or I can't perform.
That's fine. You didn't even have to admit that because no one would know. So, although
hello,
because there's no wire. So this week we have we've got a couple cool things coming down the pipe here, but today we're going to be talking about Clown in the Cornfield for Movie Theater May.
Clown in a corn fuck.
We are going from Sinners to Clown in the Cornfield. A month for horror movies. May 2025 may go down in history.
I know that there's actual like factual facts behind this, but this is when they start putting out the good shit that they've been hiding. Like we're entering that time of year where like they start really putting out the fun stuff.
The summer.
Yes.
Yeah.
In October around that time.
Yeah, that's true. So we're going to be doing Clown in the Cornfield, and then if everything goes to plan, we will be having the director of Clown in the is it in A or in the Clown in A, right?
Yes, I think it's A.
Clown in a Cornfield. That's crazy. Clown in a Cornfield. We'll be having the director Eli Craig on probably next week, I guess, or no, I don't know. We're so backed up with stuff.
Well, what I think, and we can figure this out later. I think we should end Movie Theater May with Mr. Strauss. I think that's a fun, just like last week, unless something comes up. Well, it'll be a double week because of Final Destination, but I think we should.
Movie Theater May is gonna. Jesus. Hang on. Movie Theater May is for sure gonna just like go into June.
Yeah, we're seeing everything.
We're rolling it. We're rolling it into June, baby. It's just been too good, and we're doing Clown in a Cornfield. We're gonna be interviewing the director Eli Craig. You'll see that soon. Then we're doing Final Destination, Bloodlines, and potentially interviewing those directors, depending on their schedule.
Yes, we have a word out. I'm waiting to hear back.
It should be good, though. I'm excited.
It should be good. But I think it'd be fun to release this episode, and then if we talk to Eli on Monday, just double whammy them. This on Tuesday, and then the director interview on Thursday, and then do the same thing for Bloodlines if we're able to do that.
Yeah, we could do that for sure. I think
whammy.
A little double whammy action. Then you got Marshall's interview, which was very good. Very good. I actually just started editing that, but that's not going to be video because he was not dressed to impress that day, and he did not allow us to do that.
Ooh, looked fantastic, though, as we've established.
No cameras.
I miss him.
He was so concerned, which was crazy because we were carrying around a camera, and then when he came in, he was like, wait, is that camera for recording us? Hey, Marshall. The fuck do you think it's for?
I miss him.
I miss him too. What a guy. I love him. So yeah, Clown in a Cornfield, based on a novel, which is that a novel that people love, or what? What's the deal with that?
I meant to say this to you because today's what? Today is Thursday. I want to read the book before we talk to him Monday. It's like a YA novel. It's not like a novel. So I think I'd be able to knock it out in a day easy, assuming I'm able to, but I really want to read the book. The book is something that has come across my radar on several occasions. And there have been a lot of times I've been at Half Price Books and I've almost bought it, but haven't, because I think this might be completely wrong. I feel like the books have a supernatural element, and I think that's why I never bought them, because that's not my thing with books, but that might be a complete lie, and I don't know what I'm talking about.
I feel like you might not know what you're talking about. It's 352 pages, which seems like pretty hefty.
Yeah. It's big print.
So the supernatural thing is actually something I'm a little bit curious about, because I kind of wanted it in this one.
Get the fuck out of my face.
Okay, well, I don't mean like you know what? We've missed they're not doing shit like Michael and Jason anymore.
Correct.
And that's a bummer. It feels like when there's supernatural, it's like supernatural. And then if it's people, it's like people. I just want a person. That's not a person.
Well, again, I don't know what the book was about. I will try to read that this weekend. And then on Monday, I'll be whatever. But clowns, I feel like, have been supernatural in recent history. So like maybe they didn't want to do that. Like Fart the Clown is supernatural. Pennywise is supernatural.
Pennywise is an alien.
Yeah.
So that's different.
But he's presented as a clown. Everyone knows him as a clown.
Yeah, that's fine. But he's an alien.
But it's supernatural.
No, he's not. No. Fart the Clown also. I mean, let's dig into that a little bit, since we're fucking at odds with our mothership right now.
Are we gonna do a total Rudy takedown on Terrifier?
I mean, yeah, we never have on the show. I mean, people know my thoughts on it, but we probably should one day, because it would be worth it, especially part 2 and 3. Because I didn't love 1. I actually don't like 1 at all. But, you know, in hindsight, it's a fucking masterpiece compared to 2 and 3.
Yeah. Well, you know, I was the strongest advocate for Terrifier, the first one. Well, not the first one, but the first Netflix one. And then the second one came out. I was kind of into it, but the third one, not my cup of tea. Terrifier in general, just not my cup of tea. Going back and rewatching them, because that was like 2017, almost fucking 10 years later, it doesn't hit the same at all.
When the gates of hell opened up in 3, I was like, you know what? I'm good.
Well, the fourth one is gonna tie it all together, baby.
Supposedly. What was that clip? What podcast was it and what clip was it where fucking somebody was talking to one of the people from the movie and they were like blown away that it went into a supernatural route. And they were like, yeah, we're going to explain it. And I was like, hey, way less interested. Don't
give a fuck. Wait, now's the time. I don't know. Tell the Damien piss story right now. It takes like 30 seconds. Everyone needs to hear this.
Wait, why did that come up in our conversation though? I made a joke
about a cornbread taking the loudest piss.
That's right. In Sinners, right? So cornbread.
You don't see his dick, by the way. I was looking real close.
Good to know. I know you didn't, but you were like, I'm pretty sure he's fucking hanging wang. And I was like, that'd be a really weird move for Sinners, but sure, maybe. So you just thought that beer bottle, you thought cornbread was hung.
And I bet you he is. We just didn't see it.
I mean, he's like 7 feet tall, so I would hope so.
Yeah.
It's like
shout out cornbread.
It's like Shaq. Imagine how big Shaq's dick is. It's got to be fucking huge. And what's weird is imagine if he had like never mind. Anyway, because on that frame, it doesn't matter. Anyway, cornbread, shout out your hog. So
goo goo gaga.
He takes goo goo gaga. Cornbread's hog is at the end of the year, we're going to do the Hachi Machi of the year and the Goo Goo Gaga of the year. And Sinners has 2 nominations, Michael B. Jordan and Cornbread's Hog nominated for the Hachi Machi of the year. Okay, so Cornbread took this piss in Sinners and it's so loud. It's just like the loudest piss in the world. And he's like, oh. And then I mentioned Damien Leon at Monster Mania. And the story there is Joe and I we were at Monster Mania. We had like a booth or table or whatever, and we went to the bathroom, and it was like the VIP because the other one was disgusting. And Joe and I were like, hey, let's just go to that one that's like roped off. And we just went in. There was no one to stop us, so we went in. And Damien Leon is at the fucking urinal and he was making noises like he was passing a fucking kidney stone. He was like, we were like, what the fuck? What the fuck is happening right now? And it seemed like it lasted the whole piss. So it was just like, and we were like, and I forget, I feel like he might have said something to us afterwards, but I can't remember. But anyway, Damien Leon taking the loudest piss in the world at Monster Mania making sure everyone knew he was pissing.
It's like one of my favorite stories of all time.
Yeah, I used to tell it better. I got to think about it more. I don't know. I haven't thought about that in a while. But anyway, there's your Damien Leon story. Anyway, Clown in the Cornfield, Clown in a Cornfield, a different type of movie. What was your, I wanted to build this into the episodes this month because we kind of did with the other one. What was your movie theater experience like for Clown in a Cornfield? What did you see? What was it like?
First time, because I just saw it again, like 30 minutes ago for the second time. First time I saw it, I was the only one in the theater. But I was at like a shitty local theater. It wasn't like one of the chains. I was the only one there. I had a fucking blast. I had such a good time. I had my popcorn. I had my cherry icy, total cherry icy movie. That is what a cherry icy movie is.
Okay. All right.
I had the time of my life. The second time I saw it, there was one couple in there, but that was it. Again, I was at the local theater again. But I had a good time both times. It plays fast. It's just like a good old slasher. I liked it.
I went to a theater that's in my town that is a dog shit theater. I hate it. One time I got super high there, and there was like the lighting for the stairs. You know how they have like the emergency lights? It was somehow where I sat, the light from the the fucking walk area was just beaming into my fucking eye, and I was so high that I was just like blind in one eye. I just didn't close my eyes. Theater sucks. It's such a bummer. It's so run down, and it's like 14 screens. I want to just buy it from them and make a cool movie theater.
Hey, you want to do what?
Hey, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It. Living your dream. Living Lexi's
We're
dream.
talking tonight. We're talking tonight.
There's no way they're going to give it up though, because they must make some money on it. But they've closed off the ticket area. It's just like closed, but it's still there, and you have to buy your tickets at the concession stand.
It's so funny that you just said this. I just had this conversation with my mom because my brother and I saw Ma last night, and I was talking about something, whatever, and she was like, you buy tickets and concessions at the same place. And I was like, yeah, box offices haven't been a thing in like 5 years, and all of them still have like box offices. They just don't use them.
All of mine have box offices that work around me.
Really?
Yeah.
All of my theaters have a box office. You don't use them.
My Cinemark have people working, like 2 people in the box office, even when it's dead. They're just sitting there looking miserable.
I hate Cinemark.
Bless them. Bless their hearts. That's the way I want to buy my ticket. I don't want to go to the concession stand. Second, there's 2 concession stands at this theater. There's this tiny weird one in the front that was never used because they have a giant one on the other side. Now they only use the small one. The big one's shut down too. It smells like fucking bleach. They just fucking, it sucks. It sucks. And they anyway. So I go and I'm already like so mad and I'm like, this sucks. Second, I went at like 3 or something because producer Lexi was like, you have to see this before I confirm with the director that we're going to interview. And then the guy blows us off and then we have to push it away.
He didn't blow us off. My email went to spam.
I'm joking.
Eli, don't listen to him.
But it was just funny because she was like, you have to. So anyway, I like cut out of work early. I go to see this. And then it's so weird because I'm like the only one there. There was 2 cars outside. And then to be like, hi, I'm clearly taking the day off of work to see Clown in a Cornfield, please. And 1 bottle of water.
There's a woman, I wish this fucking worked and that I got louder the closer it came to my mouth. But there's a woman who works at my theater. They have like this cycle of, I would say 60 to 70-year-old women who like quarterly it changes who that woman is. But there's always like a 60 to 70-year-old woman working there. The one who's working there right now, not my favorite, April. Her name was April. She was my favorite. But this woman like always comments on what you're saying. You know what I mean? She's one of them, which is like fine, I guess. No. It's whatever. Leave me but yeah, I get it. But I said clown in a cornfield and she like pulled it up and she was like, oh, that looks disturbing. And I was like, that's crazy.
Okay, wait. No, I take it back. That's fine. That's fine. If it's like such a sheltered old person that they're like, whoa, a real spook fest.
Yeah, that's her energy.
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine then. I'm fine with that. As long as it's not like judgy or something like that. Or even, no, just being like, wow, that sounds real scary. And then I go in. There were 2 people in my theater. They must have been the only 2 cars there. 2 people in my theater. One was there was like 3 or 4 rows in this theater. One was in the row right in front of me. One was 1 or 2 in front of him. The one guy in front of me was checking every seat and standing in front of it and then like looking at the screen, then moving to the next seat and like looking at the screen. And I was like, This is insane. You should just know, as an adult man at this point, you should just know where your seat is. You got to know where your seat is and just pick one. The theater's empty. Just, you can move. You can move. I know you're going to be like, this is me, but it's not. There's no way it is. But then he's standing up. He wouldn't sit down. He's standing up, and then he puts his hands under his underwear, under the underwear, and starts picking at his like asshole. And I was like, come on, man. Like, I can't do this today. Like, sit the fuck down. Like, this is crazy. And then the crazy part about him was later in the movie, he was just hitting the recliner buttons, like up and down, up and down. And then he finally put it all the way back, but then sat up straight.
Okay.
So that was that guy. The other guy, 2 rows in front of him. I'm like, well, at least it's just this guy. He's quiet at least. They start. I have my notes here because the guy in the furthest row was talking not during the movie, thankfully, but during the trailers, they showed, what was I Know What You Did Last Summer. And the trailer ends and he just is like, holy shit, I have to see that. And I was like, okay. Bring in the energy. But then the guy in the row closest to me just started being like, I don't know what he said, but he was just talking. He was just saying words, but like a lot of words, like several sentences worth of words, like, and I was like, okay. And I was like, do these guys know each other? Are they like talking to each other? And then I was like, is he mad at the guy talking in the front row? So now he's just like mumbling under his breath. So I'm like, oh, this is fucking weird. And then wait, there was another trailer. The guy said something else and again, he was like, oh man, that looks so good after another movie trailer. And then the other guy started talking again, but it was definitely not angry. He was just like, well, I don't know. This guy is, and he just like started talking and I was like,
that's fucking insane.
I was like, where the fuck am I right now? But thankfully, as soon as that movie started, they were done. They were done. Except the guy in the very front row. I forget what scene it was. I do have it written down though. It was like one of the jokes in the movie that's like kind of corny. There's a few really corny jokes in it. A joke happens in the movie. This guy I thought was going to pass out from laughing. He was doing the Robert De Niro and what fucking Cape Fear in the movie theater laughing with the cigar. Like that's how he was laughing at that one joke in the movie. And I was like, that's fucking crazy.
It like, cause dude, those guys love going to the movies. Those guys are always at the fucking movies. And it really just depends on my mood for the day. Like sometimes I'm so tickled by it, and other times I'm just fucking like furious about it.
Yeah. This one I was just stunned with this one. This one was more stunning than anything. I was just like, huh.
Dude, this is driving me crazy because I saw Christine like 2 years ago in theaters, and it was a pretty empty theater. There was one guy in the row in front of me, but like all the way to the end. And he was doing a live commentary kind of, but I was tickled by it that day. And I swear to fucking God, I quote the shit he said all the time, but I'm sitting here and I'm like, wait, what do I fucking say that he said? Because at one point he was like, hoo hoo hoo, and I like do that a lot, but it's in direct reference to him. But the one that stands out is he was like an old dude, like 60s, 70s. And it's when Artie is like freaking out on his mom because she like won't let him have the car, and he like shoves her or whatever the fuck. The guy was like, this guy's fucking crazy. And I say that all the time. He sounded like so stressed out about it.
Also, I found the joke that he died at. This is so crazy. In the movie, they're trying to call for help, but their cell phones have no reception, and they find a rotary phone, and because it's Gen Z, baby, they're like, how the fuck do you use this? This guy lost his fucking mind. Lost his fucking mind. And I saw him after, and he wasn't even that old. Like, he was probably the same age as me.
I'm gonna be so fucking honest with you. There is it the hot take? I don't think so. I don't think there is a better sign for someone's intelligence level than what they laugh at in a movie and how hard they laugh at it.
Yes, yes, of course, of course. Joe and I have
And
told that
sometimes
story. Oh, what?
I was just gonna say sometimes people are fucking tickled pink over like the dumbest shit in movies, and I'm like, this
Yeah,
can't be real.
yeah. No, Joe and I have talked about our friend Buzz that like will laugh at something and then you'll be like, you'll press him on it and he won't know why he's laughing. It's like just because it sounded silly. And the one that we famously talk about is on an episode of Family Guy. Peter Griffin is like trying to come up with a fake name. And you know how they do that where they like look around the room and choose something? Like
Yeah.
Oscar Spaghetti, because he sees a bowl of spaghetti. So they're doing that. And so Peter Griffin looks around the room. He sees a P. He sees somebody crying with a tear. And then a griffin, the mythical creature, flies in and he goes, P tier griffin. Right? And our friend was like rolling on the floor laughing. And then he goes, what was that thing? Like that flew in. And we were like, a griffin. And he was like, oh, that's not funny anymore. Like,
Dude, this is like, oh my god, veering so fucking far off to 30 minutes in. But I rewatched Saturday Night last night and I was curious. I mean, the evolution of televised comedy, like I guess when Saturday Night came out, there weren't a lot of comedic shows to that caliber. So like people were probably really fucking like down with whatever the fuck they were saying. But they're showing like the dress rehearsal or whatever, and it's the fucking like Belushi skit where he's copying whatever that one dude's saying, and then he falls on the floor, and like the live audience of the SNL like crew is losing their fucking minds laughing. And I was like, but I bet you that's how it was. You know what I mean?
yeah, I mean, it was definitely different than what was on TV. I mean, you're talking about, it was all like sitcoms. It was all,
Mhm.
that's all it was, and very clean and stuff. But I mean, it is still crazy that there's like, you watch that stuff. Like I remember watching James really got into Abbott and Costello when he was little because of the Universal ones, but then he got into like all of the Abbott and Costello ones, and like they break a drum over like Costello's head in one of them. James was really young. He was like 4 or 5. Was like pissing his pants laughing at it. And I was like, man, that's the height of comedy, is literally just falling on the ground and like rolling around to some people.
I know. I
Myself included. Well, so Clown in a Cornfield, I mean, we don't even have to like go deep into it too far, but so it's a slasher.
Mhm.
I don't know how to go through this one. It's so interesting because Sinners was so easy. I was like, fuck it. Like, let's just talk about it. It was so easy. This one's like so all over the place. Very standard slasher setup though. I'm curious about the book. Maybe I'll find it and read it too. Because it's very like tropey. Like it starts off as any slasher would. Teen party, and the kids get got by the clown just to set it all up. And that's like, boom, Clown in a Cornfield. We're starting this movie. And then we follow this girl, Quinn, who is moving to town with her dad, who is a doctor, which that is like,
Who is a fucking dilf? Goo goo gaga.
go, go, gaga.
He's so fucking hot.
You think so?
Yes, absolutely.
I think the actress was pretty cute.
Katie
Katie
Douglas, yeah.
Douglas.
I
She's
really
cute.
like her. She's
Yeah.
kind of I honestly think she's great, but in the same way that Mikey Madsen just kind of plays like annoying crazy bitches all the time,
Yeah.
this is kind of Katie Douglas's character and everything I've seen her in, just kind of like sardonic and dry.
That makes a lot of sense because I looked up her age before I said that comment because I was like, I could not tell how old she was in that movie. Like I knew what she was playing.
Yeah.
But she's 26 years old.
Yeah.
That's crazy. She looks so young.
She's just very little.
She is a very little lady. She's cute. She's cute. They're moving to town because the dad's a physician and got a job in this small town after her mother overdosed, died, and they wanted a fresh start. So he was like, I'm gonna move to this awful fucking town. And that's gonna be that for us. I think it's so funny, the idea of, and I feel like you only see it in movies. I don't think this is a real thing where a town's like, well, our doctor died, so I guess we have to find another one.
Yeah. This one.
And they hold off all medical work until that doctor shows up, because I feel like every movie this happens in, it's always like, oh, my foot's been killing me, but the other doctor's gone. And it's like, what? You didn't go find another fucking doctor in the interim? Like, what the fuck are we doing?
I don't know. I think the book might be set in present day. Again, I don't know. But it doesn't bother me that this is set in present day. However, it had no need to be.
It really didn't. I mean, the thing with present day is, cost-wise, it's cheaper to make a movie set present day. Because nothing's worse than watching a movie that's like supposed to be in like it, and there's a few now because everyone became obsessed with setting them in like the 80s and 90s, and nothing is worse than when you're like, this is the shittiest job at presenting the 80s.
I actually take back what I just said. I love this movie because I gripe about this all the fucking time. Like, God damn it, but they had vapes in it. Okay, what I was getting at is cell phones in movies are so fucking annoying to me. But they did it very well, just being like, it's a fucking dead zone. And then you just accept that no one's trying their cell phone. It's just like, yeah, they don't work. You don't think about it again.
Correct. And there was something, I don't know if I've ever brought it up on the show. I forget who said it. It was somebody that is in movies, but they were talking about cell phones in movies. And they were like, just don't put them in fucking movies, because just pretend they don't exist, because if they were in the movie, everyone would just be on their phone looking down. Then no one would be speaking. Like every scene, their phone would be in their fucking hand. It wouldn't be a real movie. So it's unrealistic to even have them in a movie and just like in their pocket, never looking at it.
Also, no one's like figured out how to fucking put an iPhone in a movie. It's like they always try to do something weird and experimental with it. And either it's like, have it pop up on the screen as a text, or they zoom in and it's not how iPhones work at all. It's just like, why aren't you guys just shooting the fucking iPhone?
Did I ever send you that clip? Fuck, I should try and find it. It was on Instagram. It was like a reel, and it was like a convention for like movie special effects people, and it was like a true like business. Like you went there if you were in special effects or did production and stuff. And this guy was showing this app, and Paramount or Universal, dude, it's so crazy to think about this. They have like engineers and technical people that just do research and development on this shit to make movies better. And they built this machine, and you run the app on your phone. So you use a real iPhone, and then you open the app and it just displays a fake homepage, but it's all works. And like you can click your messages, and then from this machine off camera, you could like type a text to them, and it'll even show like the 3 dots and stuff. Or you can make a call and you can set what the number is, the name that pops up, and it's like all wireless to it, which I thought was so fucking fascinating to think about that. Yeah. But anyway, no, I don't know what the deal is with that either. Hush did it with it on the screen. I feel like that's the move now. You just have to throw it on the screen.
I fucking hate it though.
Oh, you do? I don't mind it.
Really? I don't like it.
How else do you do it?
Show the fucking phone camera. Show the phone camera. Show the phone on camera.
Yeah, but then the texts have to be big, like those horny guys at baseball games.
I guess. Let's just pretend outlaw cell phones in movies.
Get rid of them. Get rid of them. Just pretend cell phones don't exist at that. It's fine.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Throw them out. He from the beginning, we get, so Quinn's a little gothy. She's a little gothy city girl from Philly. She meets Rustin, not a name. Although, fuck.
You'd be fucking surprised.
Who was the listener that recently messaged our Instagram and was like, hey, my name is this, and you guys like ripped on that name? Cutter. Yeah, Cutter. Shout out to Cutter. On Joe and I's April Fool's Day, when he said Cutter, I think we like kind of joked about the name a little bit. But this guy was like, hey, fun fact, my name's Cutter. And I was like, that's fucking wild. That's fucking wild.
I live in a town that's very similar to whatever this town is.
Yeah, I could see that.
Bet you I could throw a rock and hit a Rustin.
Oh, shit.
Swear to God.
It's a claim. What a claim. Well, Rustin from the jump was never off-putting to me, and I think he was intended to be off-putting.
I don't think so. I need to find, you can keep talking. There was a Letterboxd review about Rustin that I saw that made me laugh really hard, and I need to find it, but keep talking.
All right, you dig into that. So Rust loves hunting animals, and he gives Quinn a very urgent warning about the local weirdos. We also find out that they celebrate Founders Day, which I put a note in this where I wrote, why the fuck is this a thing in movies, Founders Day? And I was so happy when Quinn finds out about Founders Day and is like, what the fuck is Founders Day? I was like, thank you, East Coast gal Quinn, for saying what I'm thinking.
I don't know the logistics of this. I forget. The town I grew up in used to have Harrison Rally Day, which was like I was going to say Harrison Ford founded the city. That's not true. Who was it? It had something to do with the founder of that city. And like we had that every single year, but then I think it came out that he was like part of the Civil War and on the bad side. So they like canceled it very recently. And that's like no longer a thing.
On the bad side. On the bad side.
You are.
I like that. Anyway, so you see Rustin and he's like very in from the sticks, flannel. You're like, okay, got it. This is where we're set. And then we go to school and everyone is dressed very normally. It's just Rustin who's dressed like that. So that's fine. And the new town is Kettle Springs, and they have a clown named Friendo the clown, who is the town mascot, which more towns need mascots, bizarre ones though.
I'm locked out of my letterbox, so I won't be able to find it.
Okay. So they Friendo the clown, he was the mascot because there was a corn syrup company that was there. That was their main source of income for the town, was this corn syrup factory with Friendo the clown as the mascot. And our boy, what's the little heartthrob's name? Cole's dad started Founders Day and started the fucking syrup company. So
okay, I'm gonna jump in real fast, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what the subject of the book was. This is quite clearly a political commentary, correct? Do you agree?
Yeah, it gets to be that, correct.
Was the casting call for Cole's dad someone who looks like Elon Musk, or was that just a beautiful coincidence?
No, it was not. I don't think it was for somebody that looked like Elon.
And yet.
And yet. And yet, yeah, that he's played by Kevin Durand, who's just been in a ton of stuff. I think it was just like, hey, guy with black hair that you can part and make a pompadour with, that kind of vibe. That
No,
was
it's
him.
the fucking face. It like blew me away the first time I saw it. Where I was like, was that intentional or was that just fucking like a coincidence? Because it turns into what can be perceived as like a political commentary on the current state of things, right? And the main guy who's like the problem in the movie just looks, his face looks like Elon Musk.
Yeah, it does. I didn't think about that, but yeah, sure. But it is a political commentary at a certain point. Anyway, what I loved about these kids, so she falls in with this group of kids that aren't the best kids in town. Even the sheriff is like, hey, don't hang out with those kids, but she does anyway. And everyone's like, those kids are the worst. Those kids, this movie was made so specifically for Gen Z, it fucking kills me. Because so there's the political thing that they do in this, but there's also this like Gen Z is not so bad statement in this too that happens, because these kids are like rambunctious and stuff, but are never bad. Like, you're never rooting for these kids to die. It's actually kind of crazy because like I'm trying to think of the two examples. Okay, so the two examples are they all get detention because they prank their teacher. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. The adults hate these kids are pranking everyone. They're so fucking mad about it.
I'm trying to find out how old the author is, but I can't find it.
And that would be interesting. Well, I don't know if the book is even like this or if the directors were just like, let's make a Gen Z movie.
Yeah.
But so they prank the teacher mostly pretty innocently, because like the big prank to the teacher was he pulls down the fucking overhead projector thing and it's his face superimposed on a body, which you'd be like, oh, what kind of body is it? It's like a weightlifter. It's like a super jack guy. It's like, it's not like insulting. Like, you don't go home and fucking sob about that. You're like, whatever. Like, that's fucking silly. Right? And then, so then they get detention for that. And even then they're like, hey, we're sorry. And he's like, you fucking little pieces of shit. You all get detention. They're all like, what the fuck? And then my favorite thing is they go to buy alcohol and they're like, we don't have fake IDs. Don't worry, we got it covered. And you're like, oh, I know what's going to happen here. They fake a fight and you're like, oh, now they're going to steal all the alcohol. Like, they're bad kids. They take the alcohol, they pay. And it's actually noted specifically that they pay more than what it would have cost. They leave the money on the counter and then run away with it. And I was like, hey, that's fucking fantastic. But also it's so fucking silly.
So I don't know. I think like technically I'm Gen Z. I'm 26.
Yeah, I think
but
so.
I'm in like the weird in-between thing where it's like,
what year are you?
99.
You're in
so it's
very
like,
early Gen Z, yeah.
Yeah, so like what is portrayed as Gen Z, I don't really relate to a lot of it, especially like we've said, like my oldest brother was 12 years older than me, so like I was playing with like his toys and shit. I didn't have an iPhone until I was in high school. Like I didn't have whatever. But I like legitimately think this is kind of how kids are now. Like I think this is a very real portrayal of like what Gen Z is like for the most part. I mean, they're fucking annoying, but like
they have the nice side too.
I think kids today, and again, this is kind of like a generalized statement, but I think are morally on the up and up a little bit.
I mean, James is in he's in like Gen A or Gen Alpha or whatever, but there's like no bullying at his school. I was like, do kids ever get bullied? He's like, no. Why would we do that? I was like, oh, fuck. My bad.
I just think this generation, I think that it's enough time has passed, and not even like research, but I guess just like movies based on bullying and shit, where it's like it's not cool anymore, and everyone knows that like you're a fucking asshole if you're a bully, and like no one likes
Right.
those kids anymore.
Right. Like, what was that too? Bullying was fucking crazy. Bullying was crazy. The shit I was subjected to as a kid was fucking out of this world. Torture. Like, you know what's funny is they're like, oh, everyone's medicated now, blah, blah, blah. You know what? Like, it's probably just going to be our generation, like the millennials and early Gen Zers, because, yeah, we were fucking bullied into a crippling fucking state of neuroses that we can no longer deal with as adults. Like, what the fuck? Like, getting your head smashed into a water fountain when you're trying to get a drink. Like, you couldn't drink out of the fucking water fountain because you had to check around you. In the event that there might have been somebody behind you to slam your face into a metal spigot.
See, that's like older than me. Like, that wasn't happening when I was in like elementary school and junior high.
Yeah.
But like, there was still like bullying and shit. Like, it wasn't that insane. And I always wondered if it's true that in the 50s, kids were just getting like knives pulled on them and they're getting like cut as bullying, the way that like Stephen King portrays it.
Well, no. I don't think so. There were no greasers. I mean, I think it's the equivalent of shit. Like, when you watch like 80s, like, yeah, there were bullies and shit and stuff, but it was really always more emotionally destroying people. It was always just really just beating you down emotionally. That was always more of the bullying. The physical shit was like, it was there, but it was very rare, I think, to see that. I think it was probably the same for the 50s. It was probably just a lot of like, hey, you pencil neck geek, which would have been nice. I would have loved to have gotten that rather than the fucking slurs I was called.
No, Gen Z is interesting because I think, and even when I was like in high school, I was a bad kid. I was one of the bad seeds. But there was like, dude, I get sent this meme all the time from kids I like went to elementary school with. It's James Spader. I forget I don't know what he's in it, but it's him. The caption is that one kid who was always getting suspended and in detention and expelled, and it's James Spader being like, oh, I fucked this up. The caption is that one kid who was always getting detention and suspended to the kid who makes fun of the janitor. And it's James Spader being like, in this life, there are lines even criminals do not cross. And I feel like that's what Gen Z is now, because it's like, yeah, steal from Walmart, steal from Target, who fucking cares? But like a local store, don't fucking steal from them. And like everyone abides by that. That's kind of like the moral code now, I think.
I like that. That's a good moral code. I'm down.
Yeah,
with that.
I like it too.
It's a good moral code to have. I mean, I mean, we don't have to get political here. Get all fired up. Politics, baby. Honestly, if you ever took anything we said about politics seriously, you should just fucking drive into a bridge embankment, because last two fucking people on earth you need to talk about that with, solely based on movies. We'd just be like, I'm pretty sure that bill was, they talked about that bill in this movie, which has to be real. Anyway, the kids also love making little YouTube movies about Friendo killing people. He's a little serial killer. They make fun YouTube prank movies with Friendo. They also allegedly burned down the factory in town, bankrupting the town in the process. And when anyone runs into these kids, they're like, the kids are like, hey man, what's up? And he's like, they'll be like, nothing. Dad's still out of a job because there's no factory in town. And they're like, oh, okay, sorry.
They're nice kids.
They are the nicest kids. That's the craziest part. They are so nice to a fault, like to a fault. And it's so crazy because like they have some of the same tropes with like the jock guy. And you're like, oh, he's gonna be a jerk. And then he's just like chilling, lifting weights, drinking beer, very respectful to his girlfriend, like respectful to everyone. And it kind of got them into a little bit of trouble, in my opinion, with Quinn and the other girl who I only caught her name at the very end, Janet. Quinn and Janet have a very weird relationship. Janet is the popular girl in school. Quinn's the new girl in school. Obviously they clash. And I think the director purposefully was like, we're not going to do this trope of girls hating each other because they're girls and one's coming into town. So I think they tried to like bury it a little bit. But then at the end of the day, Janet and Quinn did not like each other. But there's so many scenes of them totally getting along fine. But then occasionally Janet will just be like, Quinn, you stupid bitch. And you're like, wait, what the fuck? Quinn's last words are, Janet. Well, by the way, we should mention we're going to spoil this movie. So if you don't want to hear it, you got a whole hour without us spoiling the movie. So just skip the rest of it, I guess. But Janet ends up dying, and her last words to Quinn are, I hate you, Quinn, which is crazy to say.
And like the main reason that there might be tension, it's never alluded to that Cole and Janet were ever involved. But it's like, oh, you're one of Cole's little playthings. And it's like, it doesn't seem like you're interested in him at all. So like, I don't understand.
No, and I mean, bravo to the directors for like kind of taking that stuff out, like the whole like we're fighting over the same boy, because it is just like so ridiculous. I mean, it's also kind of realistic, but it is so ridiculous at the end of the day. I don't know what their beef was.
Well, I started a new school when I was 15 or 16. Teenage girls are just fucking bitches. Like, this is how
rough.
it is. You know,
they're rough.
They're just fucking all teenage girls. I hated all the teenage girls at my new school. They all fucking hated me. Like, that's just how it is.
Yeah. And the crazy thing about that scene you're talking about where she says that about Cole was no one gave Quinn a heads up. Like, Cole courts her for like several days in this movie. And then we'll talk about the scene, but Cole blows off Quinn, and then Janet is like, you fucking moron. You idiot. You know Cole doesn't get with anybody, you idiot. And Quinn's like, what the fuck? And you're like, hey, somebody probably could have just given this girl a heads up, like, that this was going to happen. How the fuck would she know that? Janet just fucking lays into her. But then again, then they become kind of like buds. And you're like, oh shit, like, okay, I don't fully understand this relationship. And then you think everything's cool, and then she's like, I hate you, Quinn, and then dies. And you're like, holy shit. Okay, well, good for you. Yeah. So we meet Cole, lover boy. He reveals his sister died jumping into a lake. Save that. Put that in the back of your little noggin. Loved this part though. That night after they're doing some pranks. They're doing pranks with each other. And Quinn goes home, looks at the footage, and sees this weird clown in the background. Ooh.
Do you remember the 2016 clown epidemic?
Dude, what a time to be alive. Was
that happening near you?
Yeah.
What a fun time to be alive.
What a fucking great time. Why does anyone talk about that? I feel like every few years we should just be like, remember the clowns. That was one of the best, like, it's not viral, but it is, but people imitating things, right?
That was the best. I mean, you couldn't do it now because you'd get a fucking hole blown in you instantly if you were dressed up as a clown somewhere. In 2016, that wasn't the case yet. But like, That was so crazy because it was scary. Like, you didn't know if one of them was actually like a fucking psycho.
Right.
But like, there were several times at night that I was driving that I just like passed a clown, someone dressed in a clown costume.
Oh, you saw him?
Yeah. What are you?
Oh,
You didn't?
no, I just saw like videos online. Like, and there were
No, it
some in
was
our state, but I never saw him.
no, that because I was fucking when was that? 2016. I think I was back living in like the Toledo area at the time. Yeah, I passed like a few of them.
Ooh, I like that.
It was spooky. Like, it was legitimately like scary, but it's also like I don't remember if there were reported like incidents where like people were getting murdered. I think that would have killed it immediately. So I don't
No,
think that
I don't think it
happened.
was. No, it never happened. It never happened.
That's so fun.
It was fun. It was fun. Bring that back. Bring the creepy clowns back. Throw on a clown costume. Did I ever tell
Don't
you
do
about
that. You'll get shot.
Did I ever tell you about Scuzzy Bobo?
No.
I should find it. I know I have the flyer. I almost want to get it right now. Fuck. Should I get it? I'm gonna edit it. All right. I couldn't find it. I'm so mad. Scuzzy Bobo was a clown character that I created with my friends, and we would record me walking around town, and I just put like a giant pillow in my shirt, and I wore the like 1994 Dream Team basketball jersey over it, and I wore a big clown wig, and I just walked around town as Scuzzy Bobo, like a disgusting drunk clown. Yeah, that was that. Fits. I gotta find it, but we made flyers and posted them everywhere, claiming that I was going to be doing an autograph signing in town.
That's so funny. I love that.
But I have the flyers somewhere. Anyway, weird clowns. This leads us to our first clown confrontation, a clownfrontation, if you will, where the clown shows up at one of the kids' houses. I love this. Because the kid gets an alert on his Ring doorbell. Have we used Ring doorbells in horror movies?
Surely.
I don't know any. So I'm giving them the credit. There needs to be more of this. Ring doorbells are fucking terrifying.
Fucking, yeah. I can't think of an example. I know that it's a thing. Anyway.
I thought you were talking about a real example. Joe sent me a video from his parents' Ring doorbell once, and it was 1 a.m. and this person wearing a mask came up to the door and put flowers on their doorstep, and then went up to the Ring camera like really close and was like, "God bless you," and then walked away just like into the night.
That's horrifying. That's
what
the exact. I don't live alone. But I don't even think maybe if I did live, I don't know. I don't want a Ring camera because what goes on outside of my house at night is none of my fucking business. I don't want to fucking know.
Yeah, it's a terrifying thing to think about. The Ring. I have them, but it's only to check later. I don't get like notifications because I don't want to see some creepy stuff.
Yeah, I don't fucking want anything to do with it. I don't want to know.
Yeah. Well, they use a Ring doorbell camera really effectively, like the clown's all up in it. And then he's like, "Oh, it's Cole pranking me." And then they use this great, because they're building the tension with those like scenes where they're like basically setting up like, okay, where is he? He's going to be behind this. Is he going to be behind this? So when the camera, whatever. And he closes his closet door and you're like, oh, that's where the clown's going to be behind him now. Not there. And then if you like if you had actually paid attention, but like it takes you like a couple seconds to process, and you look in the mirror and then you see the clown like on the opposite side. And I was like,
yeah,
that's
so
a
fun.
fucking move. That was fucking great. I thought that was awesome. And the clown Dexters him. Plastic sheeting.
Yeah, he does. He does.
And
it
that's
always
when I
comes
was like,
back to Dexter, baby.
Always. That's when I got a little off put though by the clown setup. I was like, these are people.
Okay.
Meticulous people. I don't know. I mean, it's fine, but I was just like, I didn't know what I was getting. A clown in a cornfield. I'm just assuming it's got to be a little magical.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
but hey, whatever.
I have an affinity for movies set around cornfields. I mean, maybe it's just the Ohio
they're
in me,
scary.
but I love a cornfield. I fucking love a cornfield in a movie. I love the ambiance. I love how it looks. So clown in a cornfield, I'm all fucking in. I'm immediately all in.
I'm down with that. Children of the Corn. How did that not, like, I think they're remaking it probably. I'm my guess because they just remake everything, but
They already did.
We need more cornfield movies.
They remade Children of the Corn like a few years ago.
Yeah, but it wasn't even a remake. It was like I think it was a.
No, there was a
sequel.
Malachi. There was an Isaac.
Oh, okay.
Wait, I don't know. It doesn't fucking matter.
It really doesn't matter because it definitely wasn't good.
Wait, one more thought on this matter. There have been like 30 Children of the Corn movies, and the original is one of my favorites. How are there so many Children of the Corn movies and none of them are good? Like, how has no one perfected that yet? It's such a good premise. How has nobody pulled it off?
I know. I guess it's just like one of those things. It's like, where do you go from here? And what the other crazy part was then they brought in, is Malachi the little one or the redhead?
Malachi.
He's the redhead.
Malachi's the redhead.
What's the little one's name?
Isaac,
they brought back for like all of them. So Isaac was like 40 in the last one he was in.
I know.
And it was like, hey, it's called Children of the Corn. Like, demented little kids are what we're here for. Love a demented kid movie.
I know you fucking do. I really don't. But that is one I quote.
Demented children.
For no reason all the time. I say that all the time in my real life. It just like echoes through my head.
There's something so unsettling about killer children. And I love it. I love it so much. Village of the Damned. Oh my God. And they have superpowers.
Maybe it's just because I've met like 2 kids in my entire life that it just really doesn't do anything for me.
No, I feel like any human being would understand it. But anyway, we are like, I was like way off on like the pacing of this movie because I'm like reading where we're at right now. And I was like, we already talked about this. Anyway, Founders Day starts. It is destroyed by a clown on a unicycle wearing no clothes, throwing around lit bombs, which aren't real bombs, but they're lit. And the bomb falls in, lights some corn on fire, which then burns the ropes holding up the giant Friendo float, causing it to crash. Everyone loses their mind and our kids are all arrested. Quinn goes, "I'm so dead." And then we get our Friday the 13th.
With Friendo.
Yeah, our Friday the 13th crazy guy element here. The guy in the jail is like, "You are dead. Never fuck with Friendo." I'm like, oh boy.
There was none of them on the unicycle, right?
No, I think it was them.
Because they kept saying like it wasn't us. It actually wasn't us. Like we didn't do it.
Then this town is nuts.
Yeah, that was my. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I saw it twice, and both times I didn't think it was either of them, any of them.
No, I think you're right. But then I was like, wait, it had to be one of them because. Like,
yeah, I don't fucking. I mean, they're recording, waiting for something, but then they're like, it wasn't us.
I think, yeah, I don't know. It's so weird. Yeah, my note here is there's no one unlikable here. Like, I did not dislike anyone.
Yeah.
Next guy to get got is our jock who's pounding brews and lifting weights. Fucking hell yeah, brother. I gotta do that more often. I was watching what is it called? Your Friends and Neighbors, that Apple show. I started watching that, and John Hamm is he's divorced in it, and he has like a empty-ish bottle of like liquor on his nightstand, and I was like, man, living that life is wild. That's such a crazy life. just single dude, just like, I've had like empty beer bottles in my bathroom that would like sit there for days. And I was like, oh man, men are insane. Men are just nuts. They're just like, meh. Which is weird because I'm pretty clean. I'm pretty neat. I'm pretty tidy. Meh. I can be. I am messy. I don't know what I am. I'm like a mess. I'm a mess.
You're a messy boy.
I'm not messy.
Are you sure?
Well, what's messy? I'm not dirty for sure.
No, but you're messy.
But I'm organized too. I'm pretty organized.
You're not. You're not. Well, first of all, Salem.
I know what you're going to say.
was fucking crazy. In a matter of fucking minutes, that house was insane. I'm
a bit of a tornado.
And when I was there in Connecticut for whatever the last bank of episodes,
first and last.
Your house was you were a messy little man.
What was messy?
The kitchen?
Was it?
The kitchen was crazy. I didn't say anything, but I'm saying it now.
Oh.
It was crazy in there.
Was it?
Yeah, to the point that like I went to get water at some point and I was like scared that you were going to say like, I'll get it because of how messy your kitchen was. Like I kept waiting for you to be like, no. Like I'll get it.
I'm trying to think. I know it was, but it's so weird because like I keep it like it's spotless right now because I got to keep that area.
Likely story.
Tight. Anyway, it is a likely story. Listen, it's fine. It's fine.
Messy's not bad as long as you're not dirty.
I'm not dirty for sure.
No, you're not. And people, if you're messy, whatever. If you're dirty, go to hell. Dirty people are fucking gross. Clean your dishes. Like, what are you doing?
The craziest was like my ex-girlfriend who would just leave like, there would be like, you know, you make your coffee and you like spill a little bit and you wipe it up. And even if you don't wipe it up, it's because you didn't see it. And then you come back like later or whatever. And you're like, oh, Jesus. And you're like, that's fucking nuts. Like there's this dried coffee on the counter. There were times I would come home and there was so much coffee on the counter that it hadn't dried. It was like a little pool of coffee on the counter. And I was like, that's psychotic.
Well, fucking
that's actually like a condition. That's like a problem.
I come from a very messy, dirty family. And I am a very messy person. However, you and I have had this conversation. In my own space, like when I lived with my ex, I thought I just heard a mouse. I am not dirty.
Clean house. The rats that I sleep with.
I live in the country. But like when I wasn't messy when I was not living in like a family home. Like when I was living by myself, I was not messy. And my ex like was always like, you're so fucking like messy. And I was like, no, I'm fucking not. And then whenever I would come home to visit and then go back there, the house was a fucking disaster. And it's like, why are you putting on a face and pretending that you're not messy to like shame me? I don't understand.
Oh shit. I was gonna say something. I forget what it was though. Now I can't think of it. Whatever. Anyway. Founders Day. It's over. It's ruined. Oh yeah, the guy lifting weights, pounding brewskis. Friendo shows up, puts a saw on the barbell, and then chops off his head, which is pretty sick.
Yeah, I think this movie was a lot of fun because it has the R rating, right? What did I see recently that was rated R? Oh, Hell of a Summer had no fucking reason to be.
Yes.
People, I feel like very gory movies are generally just like camp and they don't care about the acting being good. They don't care about it looking good. It's like their thing is like the gore and the practical effects. The gore and like the blood shit in this movie was so fucking good, but like the acting was good and like the everything else was good. So it was a lot of fun that this was rated R. You know what I mean?
That was always my issue with Terrifier.
Yeah.
The first one. always my issue. People being like, that movie's great, the gore. Hey, no. You can, sure, the gore's great. The movie fucking sucks. And I don't think there's a fucking story. That first one, I don't think there's a fucking story. And no one's acting. The acting is some of the worst shit I've ever seen in my life.
Well, hey, you leave Catherine, whatever her name is, alone. The blonde girl, I really liked her a lot. I think she's a really good actress. I've seen her in some other stuff. I like her a lot.
From what?
She's in the first Terrifier. She's the blonde friend.
Oh, okay.
The one who gets cut in half.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
I don't know.
the gore in this movie, I like her a lot. But the kills in this movie, yeah, they're good. They're all like on screen. Like you see it all. It looks great. And it's just like,
you gotta have both.
Well, yeah, it's a well-acted movie, you know?
Yeah. So they go to a barn party after. Oh, by the way, that head cutting off scene was another comment from the first row guy. And he went, ew. Which like fucking tickled me.
That's so funny.
Giving an ew at a fucking horror movie is so sick. You know what? Maybe I'll just start doing that at all of them. Any blood. Ew. Like I had no idea what was going to happen. Anyway, so they go to this barn party. The girls are all talking about the guys not showing up, the two guys that are dead. Quinn gets turned down by Cole in a very weird way. Cole's like, let's take it slow. It's a little weird.
What does he say? Because I didn't catch it the first time, and I tried to catch it again this time, but it still just seemed like unintelligible. What is the final thing he says before she's like, oh, I'm so fucking stupid? Do you know?
No, because he goes, let's take it slow. And she's like, slow like this? And then like...
You like slow kisses?
Well, then she's like... Well, she's kissing him, and then he's like, let's take it slow. And then she's like this? And starts unzipping his pants. And he's like, well, no. Like, it's obviously not what I mean.
I mean, yeah. I was going to say, what kind of... Dude, Katie Douglas on top of me... Going buck fucking wild, baby.
Oh, ain't. It's over, baby. It's over. I'm going to show you the clown in my cornfield, baby.
You're fucking done. Stop. Cut the mics.
Oh man. That was silly. Anyway. Cole pushes her off, and then she loses her mind, which, by the way, like, if a guy does that, I don't know, I'm not a lady, but if a guy does that, wouldn't she just be like, okay, like, whatever?
I'd be fucking furious.
Oh, okay. You, Deborah Morgan from Dexter, and Quinn are the same person, because those are the only three people I can think about that would freak out to this level where she's like, Jesus fucking, I'm a fucking moron.
Well, that would 100% be me. The only part I don't super relate to is when he's like, there's just so much like going on. She's like, yeah, I can tell. That was crazy.
Well, I think they were trying to set up like, is Cole the clown? Because he like slams the door shut, which is weird. A weird move, weird power move after denying her. And then she's like, oh, like, that was the scariest thing. Hey, you were way scarier yelling at him about not getting fucked.
Well, and they do this fun thing. I don't know if this was your impression. I thought that they were going to set up like a love triangle with Rust, Cole, and Quinn, which I mean, they do, but not in the way you expected.
I was not thinking that even.
Really? Because, I mean, he comes and like picks her up and shit on the first day. And then at the party, he's like staring at them. And he watches them like walk away. I totally thought we were setting up a like they both want Quinn thing.
That would have been a very Gen Z if they were a poly couple.
Love it.
Love it. What's that meme? Yeah, I know you're what is it? It's like you poly stink.
Leave my polyamory people alone.
Hey, I'm not knocking them. That meme just makes me laugh. Anyway, Cole rejects her. That's when Janet is like, what are you, a fucking idiot? Cole rejects everybody. And Quinn gets so fucking mad about this. But then they see this girl come out of the cornfield dead, and they're like, what a great prank. And then a head gets thrown. They take off the mask, and it's one of the boyfriends, and they're like, this is the funniest plaster cast I have ever seen in my life.
I've never seen a decapitated head in my life, but I think you'd be able to tell the difference.
You 100% would be able to tell the difference.
That thing probably stank.
But it is so funny because they're throwing the head around and blood is going splattering all over them. And they're like, it's just corn syrup. Like, okay. And then finally Quinn checks the pulse and they're like, it's actually dead. And then they freak out. And then Friendo shows up, shoots some kids with a crossbow. Russ saves the day, though. He shows up, shoots Friendo. You're like, awesome. Then the big reveal, tons of Friendos.
So many of them.
Friendos. Sick with Friendos. Rotten with
Sick
Friendos.
with Friendos.
There's a
My
fucking...
my cup of Friendo runneth over.
Friendos as far as the eye can see. There's a million of them. They pop out of the woods and, they just start killing people. They shoot off one of the Friendo's hands, which was pretty sick. This scene is actually awesome.
Yeah, it's fun.
But then Rust and Cole have a conversation because Cole shows back up. And what do they say? They're like, we had a thing. Or something.
So no, the clowns are going crazy. Rust is like, where's Cole? And Quinn's like, I don't know, I was just with him. So like my impression of that, right, was Rust is like, Cole's one of the fucking clowns. Because he's been making all these quips about Cole being like, he's a bad seed. And then they finally all catch up with each other and they hide in this shed. And I don't even remember how the fuck Rust gets to this point. Also, is Russ the real heartthrob of this movie, male speaking? Because I mean, 100%. Obviously, Katie Douglas is the real heartthrob of this movie.
Well, yes.
But between Rust and Cole, I don't know. Rust is like, I think he's the Goo Goo Gaga.
Rust is the Goo Goo Gaga of this movie because he's a beefy guy. He can provide. He'll kill a deer. He'll kill a deer, skin it, eat it. Holy smokes.
Don't love that.
Doesn't matter though, because Cole and Rust are the ones fucking.
They're lovers. They're lovers. Yeah, no,
Cole shows up and like says something, and Rust gets mad and is like we had a thing or something like that, something along those lines, kind of vague but not vague at all. And
what we had.
Yes, we had something special.
Yeah,
it's like along those lines. And then all the girls who had already were the ones that were just like, Cole rejects all the girls. They all at the same time go, oh.
I like that. I
loved it. I was like, that's fucking great. That's fucking awesome. That was really cool. Anyway, they escape the clowns. You got Friendos with chainsaws. They abduct Quinn's dad to...
I'm going to interject one more time. On the first watch, the Rust and Cole thing didn't seem like completely out of the blue. Like I wasn't like, what the fuck? But especially on the second watch, knowing that they like dated or in secret or whatever the fuck, there are clues all throughout the beginning of the movie. Like,
oh, really?
It's all throughout the beginning of the movie. Yeah, there's like something Rust says while talking to Quinn. He's like, yeah, some people just like pretend that they're someone else, and like says that about Cole or something like that. And there's just a lot of it on the second watch where it's like, oh yeah, obviously. Yeah, I didn't catch it the first time though.
That's cool. Sorry, I'm reading a note that I'm 3 hands around Oh, never mind. I know what scene it is. I was like,
Oh
what
yeah,
the
that
fuck
was
does that
fun.
mean? Yeah. So they also abduct Quinn's the friendos abduct Quinn's dad, who is looking for Quinn to surgically repair one of the friendo's hands in a
Like, what do you expect him
makeshift
to
hospital.
do? Also, I don't know anything about guns. I don't know how shotguns work. But why does he pull like 17 bullets out of that hand?
Because that's how shotguns work.
It,
It's literally, I love that you literally explained what a shotgun is. A shotgun shell shoots like sprays, like multiple little, I want to call them BBs. They're not BBs, obviously, but like they separate. So it's like a blast of like
that's
pieces.
so funny. I had no fucking idea. This whole fucking time for 26 years, I thought that it was just like a wine cork blown through someone. That's crazy.
That would be
That's what I thought was happening this whole time.
No. It like separates and like all these little pieces go into you.
Interesting.
Yeah, fun stuff. Yeah. So anyway, they kidnap the dad to save a dying friendo. One of the cops shows up, Will Sasso, who we haven't even mentioned in this, who's so funny in this. He's the cop. He's great in it. Mad TV, classic. He shows up, but he arrests Cole and Cole only. Again, continuing to lead you to believe that maybe Cole is part of this whole thing. And Cole is also, they've emphasized that Cole is like a big talker, like a charismatic person. Like he gives a speech at the barn party where he's like, we're going to change this town, whatever.
Oh, you left out. They blow up the fucking shed and crawl through a pipe, and Russ does not follow.
That's true, yes. So Russ is gone and maybe dead.
Presumed dead.
Presumed dead. Yeah, friendos showing up with chainsaws. Pretty cool. But
what do you think of the friendo, the clown design? Do you like it?
Yeah, it's fine, but there were so many different friendos and they had different designs that I was like, it kind of lost its luster for me.
Are you sure? I thought they were all the exact same.
No, some of them were different, and the fucking main baddie is just got face paint on. I mean, it's
well, yeah. Elon's like the clown, the ring clown leader.
The thing is, there's no friendo. That's my issue here. Is there is no friendo. There's a bunch of guys wearing friendo masks.
I like that though. I know you don't, but I do.
I don't. But anyway, they so we're down to our three gals here. They go into a cornfield and they have this moment where they're like trying to like hold their breath and not speak. So like one girl puts her hand over the other girl's mouth. Then that girl starts whimpering. Quinn puts her hand on that girl's mouth. And then Quinn's sitting there and a big fucking clown hand covers her mouth. And they're just good. Like, ah! I fucking love that scene.
I did too.
I love it because it didn't take itself seriously. You know, like it was the perfect blend. And the director, Eli Craig, is the guy that did Little Evil and Tucker Dale versus Evil. So it makes sense. Like that blend of comedy and horror he does very well. Very well. So one of those girls gets got. So it's just Quinn and Janet. They go to this house. They find the rotary phone. They try to call. And then they realize it is a trap. It was all a trap. And they've been doing this for decades. And then Quinn gets hit with a pitchfork. Or no, sorry. Janet gets hit with a pitchfork. Quinn pulls it. But by the way, Janet's like, take it out of me. And then Quinn's like, I'm not going to do that because you're going to bleed out. And then she's like, just do it. And then Quinn doesn't. She's like, I hate you, Quinn. Go. All right. Oh, but wait, that scene is also fucking funny too because she takes the pitchfork out of Janet, stabs the friendo that's attacking him. He falls right next to Janet. So they're both dying there. And Janet goes, I hate you, Quinn. And then the friendo goes, me too.
Well, what I liked in that scene, and normally this type of dialogue I don't like, but I like Katie Douglas, and it just makes sense for, I don't know, it makes sense for her character, because normally I would be like, this is so fucking stupid. but she's like, is it bad? Is it bad? And Katie Douglas is like, it's bad, girl. And I like that. That made me laugh. Because normally, you know what I mean? Normally, I think that's so fucking stupid. But I liked it.
It can be very forced. It can be very forced. I hate it. I hate when they like cram in like, again, like youth culture to like, like go off, queen. And you're like, okay, hey, like a 60-year-old man wrote that. Like, I can tell. Like, it makes no fucking sense. It works. All the dialogue that they used, all the like the like little nuanced youth dialogue worked really well here, and I like that.
Because I'm thinking of like Lauren. If that were like Lauren with a pitchfork in her, and she were like, "Is it bad?" I'd be like, "It's bad, girl."
Girl.
I would though, you know.
Yeah. Shout out to Lauren, our biggest fan now.
You're an idiot if you're listening.
The dad, meanwhile, is still trying to perform surgery. He fakes out Friendo, stabs him in the neck. And he overhears where Quinn's going. So they all end up in this factory. And it's revealed that all the Friendos are the adults in town, including the cop, the shopkeeper, the teacher, the diner waitress, and Cole's dad, who reveals it's a Founders Day tradition to kill a lot of people, specifically large groups of people. It was the hippies.
Yeah, I guess that's true. He does say that. Because it's like, it seems with the 2 kills at the very beginning from like 91 or whatever the fuck, it's like those were like 2 bad seeds, so they killed off those 2. But you're right, they're like the fucking hobos came to town.
When the hobos came in the 60s. Wait, what? Because it's so funny because the rest are like periods, right? Like they're like, then the free loving 70 hippies, we had to kill them. They showed up in town and had a commune. We killed all of them. Then in the 90s, all the punk people came and we had to kill them. But like he kicks it off with being like, you know, the classic time in everyone's town's history when a train full of hobos shows up. You gotta fucking get rid of them. Like, wait, well, excuse me? You know, that tale as old as time, the train of hobos that invade your town. But by the way, those poor hobos, not just for dying, but they get off a train and they're in this fucking town. You'd be like, hey, get me back on the fucking train. We're dead here. Like, there's not enough food here for us. Give me the fuck back on the train. We gotta go somewhere else. This is not it. Anyway, it's a Founders Day tradition. Oh, I wrote down questions for the director in this. I was like, why do I wrote down, when you saw Founders Day, were you bummed out?
I was thinking the same thing.
I'm going to ask him. Ask him because they were probably in production probably around the same time, or that one might have come out right before they went into production, and he was probably like, fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, man. Also, I loved back to that thing where he was explaining each generation that they killed and like what bothered him. I loved that this generation, he was like, the fucking pranks, the non-stop pranks. You guys love pranks. I can't stand it. So we got to kill all of you pranksters, you little pranksters. It's like, oh, okay. Cool. Then Cole gets his big monologue going off on the boomers. A real passionate speech.
Speak, King. You tell him, you know, like, you have a point, baby. That's when it got like, see, I kind of like take that isolated. I'm cool with it. But at this point, you just kind of get back to back political commentary. Whammy, whammy, whammy.
Well, they just waited till the end. That's the crazy part, to like throw it in. Like Cole could have talked about this like at any point.
Yeah. But it's like you have that, then you have Quinn being like, and I'm not your sweetheart, and like blah, 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 blah. And it just all kind of happens at once. That kind of cheapens it, I'm afraid.
It's true. No, I mean, when you just cram it in, then it's like, okay, like, let's move on. And it's like a 5-10 minute scene of like, just like Cole speaks his mind about the boomers, and Quinn speaks her mind about the boomers.
But I don't say this, and like, if you haven't seen this movie and you're listening to this episode for some reason and you want to see it, it's not like nauseating the way they do it, I don't think.
I agree.
It's not yeah.
I understand exactly what you're saying, because it doesn't feel heavy handed. You're not like rolling your eyes. It's more of like the pace is going so well.
Yeah.
And then you kind of like bogged it down with this dialogue that hadn't happened once in the movie. And now we're just like, and by the way, we have something to say to you old whites.
I mean, yeah. And it's like, again, even leading up to this point, I think this being a political commentary when it all comes to a climax, I actually really dig. Like, I'm into that.
It works.
Yeah. But again, it's just, they're kind of like spoon feeding it to you.
Yeah.
And
yeah, no, for sure.
I feel like there was another way to go about that. And I'm curious if the book is a political commentary or if it's just about clowns in a fucking cornfield.
I think it might be just about clowns in a cornfield.
I'll find out this weekend.
Yeah. So, you know, our heroes here are dead to rights, and then Daddy flies in his car, impaling a woman. Some guy gets his head smashed in somehow. I don't even know how. Logistics don't matter. Just you watch this man's head explode. It's fucking awesome. Will Sasso gets a fucking cattle prod down his throat, which is pretty fucking slick.
I like that though, because it's like that scene. I don't know. I just fucking liked it. It's so fucking stupid. But again, I mean, we're talking about, I know you don't like getting political on here, but right, these are like, this is the MAGA group that they're referencing in this. And so it's like you have the sheriff being like, your generation thinks you're so much fucking smarter. And then Quinn is like, yeah, we are. And I was just like, for sure, I like that.
Well, what's interesting is I actually don't think it is like, and maybe that's where it makes it less of like a ugh, is it wasn't so much like MAGA as it was like these old fucking people that hang on to these bullshit fucking ideals and like think that everything's fucking hunky dory and expect the kids to just be like, be fucking happy. And they're like, no, no. Like, we're not fucking happy. Like, the world sucks right now. Like, it's not so much about...
It is vague enough. It's vague enough, for sure.
It's not really like this side of politics is good and this is bad. It's like the world has to fucking change. The world is fucked right now. It's not even about... Like, it's just about the changing of the guard. And I think that's probably what makes it less like, ugh, like, all right, here we go.
I totally agree.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no, it was good. I also dug it. But yeah, and then what happens? Russ shows up. He's got one last bullet.
Also this whole time Cole's hanging from a noose. We didn't even mention that.
Which is crazy.
But it looked so good. Like, I really liked that.
Yeah. It looked great.
It's just like gnarly. You know what I mean? It
is. Hanging someone is intense.
And it's his daddy.
And it's his daddy.
It's his daddy.
Who wants to hang him because he thinks Cole killed his sister.
Yes. Also, the dad admits he's the one who burned down the factory.
Yeah.
He's like, you guys are all fucking idiots. And Cole's like, you burned down the factory? And he's like, maybe you guys aren't fucking idiots.
Yeah, and then Russ shows up, saves the day, saves Cole by shooting the noose with his last bullet. Cole and Rust share a smooch.
They don't share a smooch, baby. They go to fucking Tonsil Town. They go in.
They kiss for so long that the scene continues. Other characters walk into frame and start having a conversation, and you just watch Cole and Russ making out, continuing to make out in the background. Like,
Love that for them. But I also I don't know. I love that. I love that because it's like, I just think it's so fun. And I guess I'm thinking about this because I'm thinking about the article I want to write that revolves around, like, I don't know, gay representation in horror, I guess. But it's like, just having like this country boy who's not like repressed, but also it's just like, yeah, he's a country boy, he's gay. And that's just what it is. Like, I love that.
I was shocked that in all of Cole's monologuing and all of this, that it was never like a thing about him being gay. It was never like and you thought it was coming. Like, Cole's like ramping up in this monologue and you're like waiting for him to be like, and by the way, Dad, I fucking love Rust's cock. Rust can get the clown in my cornfield.
We don't even know that his dad would be mad at him for being gay.
That's what's interesting about it. It's almost like, yeah, we're just mad about the environment and, the way.
See, it's funny because it's like, I praise like the original like Fear Street series, for example, where the couple is Sam and I forget the other girl's name. They're just like a lesbian couple, and it's never brought up that they're like a lesbian couple. It's just they're a couple and they're both women. And I really like that approach with horror filmmaking. Like, I understand there are movies that is the plot and it is important, but I really like when it's just like, this is a same-sex couple and that's like what this was. But you did have Cole not want, I don't even want to say that he doesn't want to be gay. He's just confused. But there's no like, there's no like commentary on being gay in it.
No, not at all.
It's just like this country boy and this hunk, they love each other.
They do. This bow hunk and this country bumpkin.
This bow hunk and this country bow hunk.
And the country variety. Regular bow hunk and country bow hunk. It's like a
well, and then it's just really fun because it's like, once you find out Rust and Cole are into each other in that shed scene, it totally takes away the like romantic element that a lot of slashers have. And then it's just like this group of friends surviving.
But here's the other thing about that would have been interesting. I think even if Cole and Quinn ended up together, the dynamic of the relationships in this were so different than what you normally see that it wouldn't have even have been like a tropey couple at the end. I don't think. I think it really would have just been, because all the couples, there's nothing to the point where you're like, are these people couples? And then they'll like reference it and you're like, oh yeah, I guess they are. But the romance is like not there. It's like all very respectful. Everyone's respectful of each other. There's no like, what a time, how far we've come from the 80s.
I know.
In 80s slashers where it's like, I'm just gonna fuck the shit out of you, girlfriend.
Dude,
you're going
crazy.
To Pound Town tonight, my love of my life.
But it is funny because when, I don't remember her name. It's not Quinn or Janet, the other friend. What was her name?
I forget. I don't.
But she is like, she's never distraught about the fact that her boyfriend's head was on her. Like, it's, she like brings it up maybe one time.
Very Lexi over. To be like, well, that chapter's done.
No, it was fun. It was this. Okay, continue.
Anyway, the dad gets away.
King.
No,
Love
the bad
it.
dad.
Hate it.
The bad dad lives and escapes.
Well, I was wondering this because I want there to be. I would love for this to be like
it's
a small franchise. Sure. I think it's fun. I like it. I would totally be down. And I would really like, I was thinking about this when I left the theater tonight, that if there is a sequel, which I really hope there is, if it would be like Greg returning for it, or if they would just give it to someone else now because it's not like a huge IP. I would love Eli Craig to do the next one because this was just a lot of fun. It looked good. But there's the clown at the very end who I thought we were supposed to believe was the dad who like put on a clown costume.
I don't even think you're supposed to think that. I think it's just another friendo because they explode the shit out of him and the dad wasn't wearing a mask. They explode him with a clown car, which is fucking awesome. No, I think the dad is like intentionally just like he survives, which is awesome because Quinn is going to college and clown in a city, clown in a town.
Scream, stop. That's so good. That's so fucking good.
Clown in a town.
But what I was gonna say is like some of the humor in this is I don't think it's tonal, it's not there tonally, like I don't think it ever takes you out, but there are some that are like really subtle that make me laugh that are just so fucking stupid, and it's just like my comedy, I guess. I don't know. But it's like when they're in the clown car, it's like a recurring thing throughout the movie that Quinn can't drive stick shift. And so like when they're in the clown car, it's stick shift and she's like trying to do it. And her dad's like, no, you got it. Like, you got it. And Cole's in the back and he's like, you're doing great, Quinn. I think that made me giggle.
It was good. It was great.
I fucking love a group survival.
Yes.
I do not love a final girl. I really fucking don't anymore. I like when at least the more people that survive, the better. I legitimately fucking love it.
I do
and
too.
It's like you have your cute couple that survives, and then you have like the dad and daughter. What a good survivor group, you know? I love it.
It's a great survivor group.
I loved it so much.
And then after that, we cut, and then the dad's running for mayor.
Yeah, they're doing a sequel. They have to be.
Yeah, of course. Quinn's going to college. Rust and Cole are pounding ass.
My babies.
You never know. Maybe who knows what they're doing. They give Quinn a fucking self-defense baton to say goodbye. And Quinn drives away. She looks in the back of her seat and she's got a little Jack in the Box.
It's funny that they never address the fact that the bad dad got away.
It is, but I kind of like it.
I do too.
At first I didn't love it. And then I was like, you know what? I like it. I like it. I like that they didn't do some corny thing with him like on the run or something. I like he's just going off and he's going to find Quinn, baby.
Yeah. I love this movie. Because it's the same thing as like, it's not a Sinners, you know, but it is like, it's a Thanksgiving.
It's a Thanksgiving.
It's just a really fun slasher movie. And I'm worried that the title is a little like verbose because Thanksgiving is so clean and concise. Clown in a Cornfield, it's kind of a mouthful.
It's a little bit of a mouthful, but
which I genuinely do think hinders performance. It like in the future.
Oh, for sure it does. They're gonna have to like figure something out with that.
I'm throwing cornfuck out into the ring.
I'm throwing out fuck fart into the ring. Clowning a fuck fart.
I like corn fuck.
Corn fuck, corn fart, fuck fart, fart fuck. Perhaps. I can't wait for this director to come on and be like, hey, I heard your episode. The interview's canceled.
We said only nice things.
We did.
I like genuine. I had so much fucking fun with it. And I feel like you and I say shit. We said it about Sinners, but it's like this. And again, did you ever see Hellfest? I think it came out in 2018.
I did.
That again, it's just like fun slashers like this that are good. And I think this is so much better than Hellfest, but I really liked Hellfest. It's just so much fucking fun. Bring these back.
What are our thoughts on this new I Know What You Did Last Summer?
I have been avoiding trailers. All I know is that
they didn't play it before the movie for you?
I try to skip trailers. I try to get there late. Yeah. I know that Freddie Prinze is returning, and what's her nuts? What's her fucking name?
Freddie Prinze is in the trailer. He looks like 10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag. I just wanted to say that. He doesn't look that bad. He looks old as fuck, though. He looks old as shit. Jennifer Love Hewitt is the other one you're thinking of, right?
Mm-hmm. What? Oh my God. What is her fucking name in that episode of Boy Meets World? Because he calls her Pfeiffer. I think it's like Jennifer Pfeiffer. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Her name is Jennifer.
I think it's they call her Jennifer Pfeiffer.
Pfefferman.
Pfefferman. Yeah.
Pfeffy.
Yeah. So fucking good. We should do an episode on just that episode of Boy Meets World.
She was a hachi machi.
Yeah, she was hot as fuck. She was dating Will Friedle. That's why she was in that episode. Did you know that?
No. All I wanted was hair like Will Friedle when I was a kid, and I just had curly fucking afro hair.
Dude, he's so fucking hot. All of the guys from Boy Meets World could have gotten it. And that's the truth.
Okay. I mean, Topanga was fucking gorgeous.
Yeah, Topanga's hot. But I think
was a life changer.
I mean, right or strong. It's a good looking cast, but not like so good looking that it's annoying.
Would you fuck like, Feeney?
No.
Would you fuck the dad?
Yes.
Would you fuck the mom?
No.
Yes, I would in a fucking heartbeat.
No, I fucking do. Boy Meets World holds up to this day. Occasionally I'll like throw it on just in the background and I find myself laughing out loud still. That show's so good.
I was never a Boy Meets World person.
Really?
I had to like pretend to be because literally everyone is, but no, I was never.
It's not a sitcom that gets talked about ever anymore, I feel like.
Oh my God. I mean, at least in my age group, it's all anyone talks about is
really. Yeah, I guess it was kind of like past my think that's probably one of the ones that like Lauren watched, so I watched.
Yeah, it ended in 2000. You were like 4 years old.
It's younger than that.
That's when it ended. And I was in middle school when it ended.
That show, so I want to fucking, maybe I'll rewatch that next. It's been a few years. Boy Meets World is so fucking funny. It's so good.
I wasn't a Disney kid. This is the thing. I was never a Disney boy.
Boy Meets World wasn't Disney.
Yeah, it was.
No, it's not. They talk about fucking constantly.
It was Disney.
It's ABC, I think.
Yeah, the mouse owns ABC.
But it wasn't on Disney Channel.
Yeah, it was. It would replay on Disney Channel for us.
Oh, really?
That's where it was in syndication. Yeah.
That's crazy because it gets kind of not like graphic, but
yeah. And then TV. The Girl Meets World or whatever that news show was. That was a Disney Channel.
Yeah, that one was. I never watched that.
Yeah, no. Boy Meets World was in syndication like immediately on Disney. But I wasn't a Disney boy. I was a Nickelodeon kid. I was a fucking gross kid.
I was a Nickelodeon kid, but
I was Ren and Stimpy. The grosser, the better, baby.
See, I was Ned's Declassified. I was the next era. I was Ned's Declassified. I was Zoe 101.
See, that's when I was out, and I would not have dug that either. I would have been out on that. I was like Nickelodeon when it was fucking weird ass shit. Not
well, I mean, yeah, that's what was on, and I loved those shows. But like, we had all the DVDs for the Amanda Show because of my siblings' ages. I love the Amanda Show, dude. Amanda Show, fucking. Now we're on this whole fucking other thing, but I say that, dude. I almost texted this to you today, but I didn't know if you'd get the reference because Sean found he was looking for a movie and found like a porno called Johnny Darko. But there was a bit in the Amanda Show that's like a block blister, and it's just like a parody of Blockbuster. But they always have like rip-off titles like that, like Donnie Darko would be called Johnny Darko, and they're always like, "It's better, much better." And I almost texted that to you today, but I didn't think you'd get it.
Oh, I would not have gotten that. Also, to clarify, Johnny Darko is the porno actor's name.
Oh, Sorry,
But
Johnny.
he was the star of Anal Freaks Part 8
For sure. Go off.
that came out.
That's so funny. But I know what you did last summer. No, what are your thoughts? Why'd you bring that up?
Also, to be clear, why I found Anal Freaks Part 8.
He was looking for it.
I was Googling. I was trying to find Freaks from 2019 directed by the team that did Final Destination Bloodline. They did Freaks from 2019. So that's what I was Googling. I will say, though, the Yoga Freaks one caught my eye. Had to do some external research on that in incognito mode to check out what that was all about.
There's so much porn on the internet. It's fucking crazy.
It's crazy. Anyway, Yoga Freaks did not disappoint. Check it out. 2019. Also, it has an IMDb page for some reason.
That's crazy.
Isn't that nuts? I could not believe it. I was like, what the fuck? Anyway. All right. Well,
I know what you did last summer. Wait, what were you saying about I know what you did last summer?
I don't know. I think I said it.
When does that come
out? I think this summer. I know what you did last summer. You know what else? Don't reuse the same movie title. We're over that.
So fucking annoying.
A few of them get a pass. The early ones, because it was like, oh, what are we doing here? It's 2025. We're done with it.
We're done with it.
You need a new name. You need a new fucking name.
I will never call Scream 5 Scream.
That's a good point.
That's fucking psychotic.
That is. Why did they do that? It's so fucking annoying. Anyway.
I don't fucking know.
I know what you did last summer, 2025. It is coming out in July.
I'm so excited.
We'll have to do that one.
Yeah, I am a big fan of I Know What You Did Last Summer. That's my boy Kevin Williamson, so.
It is your boy Kevin Williamson.
I have no idea who the fuck directed that movie.
The original?
Yeah.
That's a good question. It was directed by, let's see. I Know What You Did Last Summer. It serves as a direct sequel to the first one.
Okay.
Oh, they're doing this game?
Who fucking cares anymore? The world's on fire. I don't care.
It's 2025. Like, this shit is, we're past this. We're done with this. We all realized this was silly and stupid. Oh, wait. No. It's a direct sequel to I Still Know What You Did Last Summer.
Okay. I'm fine with that. Dude,
that's when they go to the Bahamas.
Why is Jack Black in that movie?
Hey, great fucking question.
I Know What You Did Last Summer, July. Is that what it's going to be? If we do 1, 2, I'll always know, and then the new one.
No. Well, we've done the first one, and we did the second one for a live show, so we could do the second one.
I love I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Okay, well, we can watch it and talk. Hey, guess what? Let's just watch both and talk about both.
I Know What You Did Last Summer is one of the posters I have up in my bedroom.
Fantastic.
Love you, Kevy.
The original was directed by Jim Gillespie.
Who the fuck is that?
No one knows. He directed that movie Joyride.
I love Joyride.
He directed it.
Joyride's the one I was talking about when we were at the Torture Museum with Joe.
Yes, you were.
Joyride's so fun.
And then something called Venom, which I know I've seen the cover of, but I've never seen it. And then Billionaire Ransom, which looks like a Tubi movie, but...
Dude, it's crazy that you direct I Know What You Did Last Summer, which is like a cult classic. Not even, it's just like a classic. I don't know. Everyone knows that fucking movie. And nobody knows what your fucking name is. Even two people who work in the fucking field of horror like don't know what your name is. That's insane.
There's a bunch of people like that. It's so interesting to see that shit. All right. Anyway, that's a wrap.
Clown in a Cornfield. Go see it if you haven't.
Go see it. Patreon, we are sending out stickers soon. Sign up. By the time this comes out, you'll still have time to sign up for the first sticker pack. Patreon.com/IHateHorror. We're doing tons of bonuses. Yes,
Next month there will be a sticker that says clown in a corn fog.
That's fine. There will also be a Billy Baloney sticker in the next pack. We're gonna try to do a monthly, but they might be bi-monthly depending. We're gonna figure it out. But
we're putting out
monthly.
So many episodes on Patreon.
We do, because we have a Dexter episode that we have to schedule ASAP, because I've almost caught up with Lexi. I'm on season 7, so we're gonna have to highlight seasons 2 through 6.
Yeah, we have to do that soon. Now that we're on the same fucking page, shit.
I know, and then the last season we can do together, and
maybe.
Okay, so no, we're okay. If you want to burn through the last season, that's totally fine. However, for Patreon, we are going to be doing once a week the sequels. Yeah. The squeak.
Also, we might be doing the last episode as a live stream, which nobody will come to, but just letting you know.
Yeah. Let us know if you're interested in that.
The very last episode of Dexter ever.
Should I just do a poll for that on Patreon and then?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think anyone gives a fuck.
I know. Yeah, I think it would be really funny. It's such a classic, like, bad finale.
Yeah.
That I think, like, people might be into it. I don't know. I would tune into that because, like, I mean, even now it's like one of those things where it's like, oh fuck, Dexter. I haven't thought about that in forever. It's like I would definitely tune into the last episode because there's just like so much weird shit.
Also on Patreon, we're doing an episode on Freaky Tales at some point, so watch that soon.
Yes, check that out. Freaky Tales is coming. I got to catch up on some other movies, so we'll probably do those too. I got to watch The Monkey.
You haven't seen The Monkey?
I haven't seen The Monkey.
That's Rafa's breakout role.
No one has wanted to see The Monkey more than my son.
I think he'd be able to.
More than any movie that he's ever seen a trailer for. Anytime he sees it, he's like, I'll be like, what should we watch? And he'll be like, The Monkey? And I'll be like, no, we're not watching The Monkey. And he'll be like,
it's honestly not that bad, gore-wise. I'm thinking about it. I don't think it is, but you'll have to watch it first, obviously.
Yeah, I'll have to double check.
He might be able to watch that. If he's watching Pulp Fiction, he can watch The Monkey.
Listen, you never know with this kid. You never know. I'm trying to think. So we got Freaky Tales. I swear there was something else. Well, there's a lot of shit coming to theaters that we're going to end up watching too. That'll be probably Patreon stuff. Oh, did you see? We got to end this fucking episode. Did you see? Should we do a Screamboat episode?
No.
Okay. Did you see? Did you see this fucking movie? I know you haven't seen it, but have you Neighborhood Watch with fucking Jack Quaid and Jeffrey Dean Morgan?
No, I haven't even heard about it.
Same.
I'll look into this after.
When a mentally ill young man thinks he has witnessed an abduction and the police refuse to believe him, he reluctantly turns to his next door neighbor, a bitter retired security guard, to help him find the missing woman.
Okay, I'm into it.
And Jeffrey Dean Morgan is cosplaying as fucking, what's that guy's name from Whiplash? The old guy.
Oh, Miles? No, that's the kid.
That's the kid. J.K. Simmons. Dude, he's cosplaying as J.K. Simmons. He's like gray and he's got like the big mustache.
There's a new Stephen King adaptation hitting theaters soon, The Long Walk.
Yes.
I'm excited for that. I didn't know who Cooper Hoffman was until I watched Saturday Night with my brother, and he said that was Philip Seymour Hoffman's son last night, and then I saw that today, and I was like, that's Cooper Hoffman.
Why don't you know these people's children?
I don't know.
For reference, I was texting Lexi about season 6 of Dexter, and I was like telling her, and I want to save it for the episode, but Colin Hanks is in it. And I was like, I fucking love Colin Hanks. I remember when this came out, I was like so stoked because I thought it was a great role. And she was like, what the fuck are you saying? She gave me such attitude. She was like, I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about right now. And I was like, Tom Hanks' son, Colin Hanks. And she was like, get the fuck out of here.
Who was Monk?
Tony Shalhoub.
My sister talked to him on the phone once.
Why?
Because my dad's ex-wife wrote Cool Runnings, so she like worked in Hollywood and had some like friends, and she was friends with Tony Shalhoub, and Lauren loved Monk.
Wait, she's dating Tony Shalhoub?
No, she was friends with him.
Oh.
From her days in Hollywood, and Lauren loved Monk. So one day Lynn got Tony Shalhoub on the horn to like talk to Lauren.
A true sign of mental illness is if you loved Monk. Monk was on the air for entirely too long. I remember when they started airing commercials being like, the series finale of Monk, and I was like, who gives a fuck? How is this still on the air? 2002 to 2009. Monk. What a fucking that guy is so fucking weird. I knew him from Wings. That's where I loved Shalhoub and Wings, baby.
Shout out
also
Tony
in Men in Black.
Shalhoub. Yeah.
Shout out Tony Shalhoub. He was great in Men in Black too. He's the shopkeeper that gets his head blown off.
But yeah, I did not know that Tom Hanks had children, and then he said Chet Hanks, and I was like, oh right.
Yeah. You were like, I can't believe Tom Hanks as a kid, and I was like, hey, brother. The man that invented White Boy Summer? Chet, the true star of the Hanks family? Didn't he also talk in like a Jamaican accent?
Yes, he did. He did. God damn.
Man, can you imagine being Tom and you're like, you got Colin and you're like, oh, this is great. Like, what a nice kid. And then Chet pops out and you're like, oh, fuck.
Dude, it's fuck. Crazy. It's fucking crazy.
And like, Chet, you have your dad's fortune that you're living off of, clearly, because I don't think you do anything else.
Yeah.
Just keep your mouth shut.
He can't.
Cash checks. He can't.
I'd be the same way. No, I just want to record another episode about something.
I know. I wanted to too, but it's so fucking late. I gotta go to bed.
Yeah.
But no, I really wanted to double head and go straight into Dexter because I got lots to say.
Are you busy tomorrow night? Tomorrow night or Saturday night? We should.
Yeah, I can do either night. We'll record it. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe we'll go live on YouTube. On Patreon.
On YouTube.
Okay, boomer. Go live on YouTube. Do pranks. All right, everyone. Thank you all so much. Patreon.com/IHateHorror. IHateHorror.com. We got to get some merch going. We got to get some Make Movies Horny Again merch going. All right, everyone. Well, thank you all so much. And for Joe, or no, oh my God, for Lexi. For Lexi, this is Sean. Stay Hollyweird. The end.